Hello, everyone. Minal here again. So today we are going to talk about, your business plan. So you applied for the EIDL or either EIDL or PPP loan. Probably you applied for unemployment while you're waiting for the funds to come from the EIDL or PPP loan. What next? So you need to reassess whether the funds that you will be receiving from either EIDL or PPP is that going to be enough for you, and that's where I'm kind of trying to focus. So the funding that you will receive with the PPP loan is only going to be sufficient for next 8 weeks period. Now that will not help you with the sustainability for the longer future. And as we all know, by this time, the crises are not going to end by that 8 week period. So we need to plan ahead of the time what is going to be our next course of action and what are the other available options for you. So that's where I'm headed. Now, for the EIDL loan, the fund initially the law was passed that you will receive $10,000. As I mentioned a few days ago in my previous video, they made some changes to the law that you will only be receiving $1,000 per employee for the EIDL up to the max of $10,000. So that kind of reduces your funding substantially. So I just wanted to let all the business owners know that you need to start your action plan right now. Now, there are a couple of things that you can do in the meantime. Start preparing your cash flow projections and again calculate what is your burn rate. The burn rate is a ratio which determines how many days of powder cash you have available in your hand right now that you can continue operating. So at any given point in time, an ideal business should have at least 6 months of cash available in hand so that they can sustain for the longer future. Now, the way things are looking to me, honestly, I don't think that everything will be back to normal in 8 weeks or 6 months or in a year. So we need to look in terms of a longer future. So the next thing, the first thing is the cash flow projections to determine your funding, for at least a year. And then evaluating what are the different loan options you have available or what are the different funding sources you have available and what other ways you can either generate more revenue or reduce your expenses, either or. Okay. The other thing I just want to tell, which is often overlooked by so many business owners as well as the accountants, and that is that the government has always been providing benefits one way or the other way. Okay, right now, as everything has been shut down and we have mandatory social distancing in place, and whether you are partially operating or completely stopped, so or operating at a limited, ratio, and the way you are seeing in the news, about different grants, different credits, different loan, and that's why you're taking advantage of these options. However, let me tell you one thing, that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which was enacted a few years ago, consists of 37,000 pages long, out of which only 30 pages tells you how to file your taxes by putting in right numbers in the right boxes in the right form. However, rest 36,970 pages tells you how to not pay the taxes, only if you can understand and interpret the law. And that is what I study, and that's what many other certified tax coaches who study. So what I'm trying to say, the moral of the story, that the government, when they pass the law, the IRS, when they pass the law, they always have some loopholes, some deductions and credits. If you interpret the law correctly, you can take advantage of. And if it is not interpreted correctly, you often lose those benefits. So that is one of the best way to create more cash flow in your business as well as personal life. Now, my next question, which I want, if you are a business owner, to think about is, are all the accounting needs of your businesses being fulfilled right now? Because this is the right time to reassess everything, reassess what other things that you need to consider. Just like the countries like USA and Japan, these are the major two countries right now who are reassessing if having all the manufacturing plants in China, is that the best option. So what they are doing right now, they learned by their mistake that having everything in China, and when everything was locked down, it was such a nightmare for both the countries to operate at a good level. So what they are doing right now is they are transferring their manufacturing plants out of China and moving into different countries where they have the better advantage. So the same way, I want all the business owners to reassess that, is your current accountant meeting all your accounting needs? Or if you're doing your bookkeeping and taxes by yourself, I would again ask yourself this question. Are you doing yourself a favor by doing everything yourself? Or just to save a few dollars or a few thousands of dollars in accounting fees, you're missing out on so many deductions. So that is something I would like to, and again, you don't have to come to me, but go to a qualified professional who can guide you on the right path. Now, the next thing that I would like you to reconsider, have you selected the right type of business entity? Majority of the businesses, they operate under LLC or an S corporation. However, again, since the way the Tax Cuts and Job Act has been reformed, it is another $1 million question is, are you operating under the EIDL type of entity? Okay. Then I want also you to reconsider, are you missing out on any important tax deductions? Do you have a work-life balance? That is something to reconsider right now, because the way everything is shifting, this will be a big deal moving forward in next few years. Okay. Are you getting the best tax advice? That is again a big question which many of the business owners consider nowadays. See, there is a difference between a conventional tax professional versus a tax strategist. The conventional tax professionals just files your tax return as if a reactive approach, which is done after the year has ended. And once the year has ended, there is only limited things, limited deductions, limited credits that you can take to minimize your tax liability. However, the tax strategist looks at your personal situation to plan for the future. So what they do, they adapt a proactive approach, which is by using the future tax reduction strategies. So they're working with you hand in hand, parallel, as your partner in business to reduce your tax liability throughout the year. And when you're using those strategies throughout the whole year, you have a better option of maximizing your use of different loopholes, credits, and deductions. So I would compare, what kind of tax professional it is when you're reassessing this needs. Conventional tax professional who meets with you at the end of the year, or a tax strategist. I would always go with the tax strategist. It is something that most people aren't aware of, that there is a thing like a tax strategist. And most accountants do a fine job of putting the right numbers in the right boxes on the right forms. But then they call it a day. And you know what? That is not any more sufficient. You need something beyond that, something beyond that can save you lots of money. We as a certified tax coach, we are the tax planners who has the advanced training in developing proactive tax strategies. And these are the ideas that saves you sometimes from $2,000 to up to $1 million every year by using the deductions, credits, and loopholes, which are often overlooked. So another thing that I would ask you to reconsider is reassess line by line your financial statements. What are the costs you can reduce? What are the costs that you can, what are the other revenue streams that you can open? Check your balance sheet. What are the different kinds of loans or debts that you have that you should reconsider negotiating or repaying it? So, that will free up some cash or open up the doors for the new possibilities for you. The next thing is look at the record keeping review your record keeping, because the way everything is headed this year is of a big change. And this might open up doors for more audits as well as more reviews, because you are going to do if you're applying, especially for PPP, you have to make sure you are maintaining proper records for the loan to be forgiven. Okay. Reassess on the business tax strategy. What are the different possibilities to reduce taxes on the business side? At the same time, reassess on the personal tax side. What are the different income shifting or reduced expenses or deductible expenses that you can claim on your tax returns? And after all, it's your money, and you deserve to keep more of it rather than giving it to the IRS. Now, if you are trying to double dip, your business didn't suffer because of the crisis, you're doing very well, and you're still trying to tap on the PPP and unemployment, everything, probably you need to reconsider it. You need to stop, because this assistance is by the government only for the business owner who are suffering to the crisis. And there are some business owners who are completely shut down and they need this money. So if your business is doing well, don't try for all of these options. Leave it for the other people, other businesses who really needs it. The one last thing, when you are meeting with your next accountant, ask, before you meet them, you need to be aware, what is tax planning? And accordingly, ask that question to your accountant, because there are so many accountants who don't really know the meaning of actual tax planning or what should be the actual good tax planning. And so the tax planning is not paying the estimated taxes in time or calculating just the estimated taxes. The actual tax planning is the one which decreases your taxes, increases your profits, and which is done throughout the year, not at the end of the year. And the most important, it keeps you stay compliant with the legal requirements, with the IRS requirements. So the tax planning is not just putting the right number in the right box and filing taxes in time, or just calculating the estimated tax payments and making those tax payments in time. It is staying compliant, planning throughout the year, decreasing your taxes, increasing your profits. And if you need any help, we are here for you. Okay, you don't have to really use our services, but I just want you to make an educated decision. This is the time to evolve further, and because you became a business owner to succeed. So you deserve this education, you deserve this right to keep more of your hard-earned money in your own pocket rather than paying to the IRS. That's it for now. I'm going to leave you with this all valuable tips so you can do your due diligence. And when you're looking for the next professional to help take your businesses to the highest level possible. And bye for now.